after day workout. So today is all about before and after sitting. So we're sitting a lot during the day. Most likely, a lot of us are for desk jobs or traveling or just resting. We're in that seated position a lot during the day. And so we want to try to do something to help counteract those positions, find a place for our body to be other than this position, and get our body used to being in those other positions so that we can help our body to avoid pain. And so this is good to do before you go as a preventative measure, before you go into your sitting sessions, but then also a way to help combat after the sitting too, to kind of help balance it all out. So we're going to start standing today. You're going to need a mat or some kind of soft surface. A chair might help for some standing movements. But then also if you would have perhaps a towel available, like this is just a hand towel, so some kind of that length, or a bath towel, or just a small blanket. You could have some pillows available too, because there may be some movements we want to prop up with some pillows, or even a blanket too. So if you have those things around you, go ahead and get those ready. And so you may or may not need any of those, but go ahead and have them ready. And so we're going to start here in standing. So any movements today that don't feel comfortable, I'll give you lots of modifications and ideas. But if something just does not feel comfortable on your body, definitely listen to your body today and do work out at your own pace, at your own risk. You know your body better than I do. So these are all just suggestions. And so thank you for joining me and practicing with me. So we're going to just start with a little bit more of a fluid movement in this little lunge matrix series here. So I'm going to have a nice open space. I'm going to start with one foot just staying permanently stuck here, and I'm going to work with the other side into just a forward lunge and back. So I'm just going to bring it forward and back, just bending forward at that knee and back. Now I'm going to add some arms to really kind of open up through the front and through the shoulders. So I'm just going to kind of repeat this little pattern, this little fun lunging forward and back for just a moment. One more time. Now I'm going to take this lunge out to the side. So we're going to kind of make a little clock shape. So this lunge is going to go out to the side and return. Doesn't have to be super big. So whatever you can manage. Now, if you like, you can add the arms to it. It's kind of like a little swaying tree in the breeze here. And if you can only have one arm if you like, if that feels better. All right, now I'm gonna head over to my back corner. I'm gonna take my arms out to the side, do a little twisting from my rib cage. So I'm gonna go to that back corner and return. This feels very like childlike, like I'm gonna, it's very free. So a little twist and return. Good. Now I'm going to take that lunge to the back. So I'm going to step backwards and bend my leg, lift my front toe up. So that kind of feels good there. So you can keep your hands here, or you can have the up arm reaching overhead. So we're just kind of getting some blood flowing and warming up a bit. All right, now I'm going to take this leg, cross it behind. So I'm just going to take a little, kind of a little curtsy movement here. So a little curtsy lunge. And then I'm going to take those arms overhead as I do that. You can take one arm if you like. That just helps with a little more balance. Or you can take both. All right, last time we're going to take this corner now and step into it. A little lunge, kind of rotating my hip towards that counter and back. I'm going to use that same kind of little twisting, twirling movement that I did before. Make sure the movement is coming from your upper body only and not from your lower back. All right, I think we have been all around the clock, so now we have to do the other leg. So here we go. So remember that little lunge forward and back. Just a big step, little bend and back, taking those arms up and back. All right, let's take it out to the side. So remember that little side movement there. You can take one arm or you can take both arms. Let's do one more there. All right, now to that back corner where we do the twist. Some nice fluid movement. And just this series of lunges right here is a great thing that you could do getting up from your desk. All right, we're gonna go back and straighten that front leg. I'm dropping the chest just a little bit, just to counterbalance the weight and lift my arms overhead if I like. All right, one more of those. Then let's take it to that little curtsy movement. So a little over and a little side bend here. So I'm gonna bring that arm or both arms. And let's do last time here. All right, now to that front corner as I twist and return. Already this should be feeling good, waking up the body. All right, very good. How are we feeling so far? So let's go down to the mat if you have a mat available. We're just gonna do a little, what I like to call a roll down. So I'm gonna roll through my spine just to get myself to the mat. This also feels good for your spine too, just for that exercise, not just a way to get down to the mat. So I'm gonna tuck my chin under and make myself into a little candy cane here. So I'm rolling all the way down and then gently coming down to the mat. I'm gonna walk my hands out and then gently drop my knees down. We're gonna take this into a front line or prone position here, all the way to the belly. Let me move my mat just a bit so that you can see what my arms are doing. All right, so I'm gonna have my towel available too for one of the exercises coming up down here. But first I'm just gonna start with my arms in a goalpost position here with my elbows about at shoulder level, maybe a little higher. I'm gonna take one arm and bring it in so that now I have a little prop for my head, but it's gonna be on the side of my head like my ear. So I'm gonna lay down, make a little pillow here. Now, in this position also, if this is hurting lower back, I want you to take a blanket and put it underneath your belly. So this will help to support your lower back. Make sure you are drawing in at your belly too to help support your spine. So this could help. Good. All right, so just get all the way down on the mat. I'm gonna take my head to the mat here. I'm gonna keep my shoulders away from the ears, drawn through my belly, and then just lift my upper back up and down. So just the upper back. I'm gonna keep my legs on the floor. Keep my lower belly kind of drawn in, supportive. And then exhale on the way down. And then lower it down. Let's take it to the other side. I'm gonna take that other hand across the other one like kind of a goal post. And just laying down side of my head on my hand. And then I'm just gonna take a nice little lift. So we're kind of bent over all the time. So we need that opposite movement, that opposite force for upper back. And let's do one more there. Very good. All right, now I want you to take your towel. This one's kind of fun. It's kind of weird, but I really want to kind of get my head positioned right over my shoulders and activate a little bit of those muscles in the back of the neck and also the chin down. So my chin position is going to stay down here, not up here. So keeping my neck super long. And I'm going to take my towel behind my head and keep my elbows on the ground. So I'm kind of propped up a little bit on my elbows. So from here, I'm going to pull the towel and press my head against the back of the towel and then release. So maybe hold about 3 seconds. You could also go down all the way to the forearms and do that same thing. Have hands on the floor, a little bit more stable here. pressing the hands, I don't know if you can hear me, hopefully, pressing the hands down, pulling on the towel, pressing the head, the back of the head against the towel. 3, 2, 1, and release. Again, 3, 2, 1, and release. Let's do a couple more. 3, 2, 1, and last time. 3, 2, and 1. Very good. All right, you can let that go. And go ahead and position yourself onto your side. So we're going to come up all the way, propping up here. I'm going to bring my legs into just a little bit of a kind of staggered stance here, and then bringing my hand out to the side. So I'm kind of leaning just a bit. So I'm going to take this hand and I'm going to come over the top, just a little side stretch, and then coming all the way back up. So we're going to sit all the way back up and then sliding the hand back down, trying to keep the hips on the floor and up. And whatever feels good with your legs here. Good. Now I'm going to take this hand and I'm going to rotate and go up underneath my arm. So I'm going to reach my hand back behind me and then rotate underneath. Trying to rotate just from that rib cage opening and a little twist. Inhale and exhale. And last time. Good. All right, let's switch our leg position over to the other side. You can also, with this position, if this is too uncomfortable, you can prop your hips up here right on a blanket or a towel, or if you have yoga blocks, that is good too if this position does not feel super good all the way down onto the floor. All right, here we go. We're going to side stretch to this side. Little side stretch. And up. Inhaling, exhaling. And up. Let's do that one more time, then we're going to add that little bit of a twist. Good. Keeping that hand down here, reaching that hand behind, opening up through the chest, and then reaching through. Inhale and exhale. Do a couple more inhale. And you can do a lot more repetitions of these than we're doing today. But we're going to keep it short to about 15 or so minutes of our class. All right. So we are going to now come down to our back. All the way down. Nice and gentle here. I'm going to do a little bit of a bridge movement through our spine. So really opening up through the front and also mobilizing the spine just a bit here. So nice neutral position with the spine, but I'm going to tuck tailbone under here and then roll up one piece of my spine at a time. My feet are about hip width apart and coming up all the way, feeling that nice stretch through the front of the hips. Now, from the top to the bottom, I'm going to go from the top of my spine, not all the way to the top, but really from the shoulder blades, that part, upper back, and then rolling back down here. So let's try that again. Rolling up, pressing through the feet, keeping the knees nice and stable. Legs should stay in one position, and then rolling back down. Now we're going to add a little bit of arms to that. So I'm going to take my arms off the floor. If you need to keep the hands down, that's just fine. Rolling up here. Now, as I go up, I'm going to reach my arms up and overhead, and I'm going to keep them here. As I roll down, you'll feel that nice stretch through the back. And again, arms to the ceiling. Rolling up, and then reaching up and overhead, and down, 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 down. One piece at a time. That spinal control should feel nice. Really nice here. And one more time, rolling up and arms overhead and rolling down. Very good. Let's take the arms up and down by our side. We're going to take the feet about a little bit wider than the mat here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to drop my knees, pointing both to the same direction, and you'll feel that rotation in the hip and a nice probably stretch through the front side of the body. And I'm just gonna alternate these back and forth. So this is a little windshield wiper move. Now I'm just gonna take my arms in kind of opposition with this. Just kind of let it a little more fluid. Now, if you really want to kind of take this a little bigger here, I might take the arms over and up and try to reach through my front body and then rolling down. So if I wanted to make this a little bit more dynamic and add a little bit more movement, I might add some reaches here. And that's a great one for some good abdominal control and also get some nice twisting action for the spine, which should feel good. All right, we're gonna take the knees over to the side and we'll work on some arm openings. So for this one, if you would grab a pillow, you could also put a block or a pillow between your knees if you want to. I'm gonna prop my pillow under my head and I'm gonna reach both of my arms out in front. You can keep the knees stacked right on top of each other here, or you can take a pillow in between them. I have them bent about 90-degree angle here. So my arms are gonna be here right on my side. And I'm gonna rotate my rib cage. It's not just the arms, it's really more about the rib cage that's gonna rotate and open. So think about it from the shoulder and the rib bones rather than the arm pulling back. So take a breath and rotate through the upper body. So really a nice stretch for the chest. And then finding that twist. And you can squeeze that pillar, that block between your knees so that you can keep your hips nice and still here. Now I'm going to take the arms to a circular motion. So I'm going to come up over my head and around. Inhaling and exhaling. We've got one more time. And again, trying to get the whole rib cage to rotate and down. Not too much of the hips. Might want to do that here. I need to work on this one. We're going to go the other way, back and around. So trying to keep the hips where they are, but rotating at the ribs. We don't quite do that rotational work often enough, but that's a really good one, especially to help with lower back pain, because we often get very stiff at our upper back, and that causes a lot of tension in the lower back. All right, gently go ahead and prop yourself up and head over to the other side. All right, tucking my head under my pillow, little block, little pillow between the knees. Not necessary, but sometimes it helps just to kind of keep the hips at a nice level and feeling good. All right, arms in front, taking a breath. Squeezing the legs together to keep the hips nice and still. Again, rotating from that rib cage. And you'll probably notice one side higher than the other. And that's okay. We don't do things very symmetrically, do we? Right, with one side, probably favor one side or the other. So just good things to notice, not good or bad thing, just something to notice. Let's take that circle. Inhale, up overhead with the arm. And back down. Okay, let's take a couple more. Like that, squeezing here. Keep those hips nice and still, staying on your side. Mine wants to kind of rotate here. So really focusing on just that upper body rotation. Keep that lower back nice and safe too. Okay, and you can turn the head here and follow the arms. You turn that head all the way. That kind of helps to get that movement in the rib cage to let the head follow. Fantastic. All right, we're going to prop ourselves back up here, and we're going to take one more little series in a straddle position. So from this position, you can prop yourself up again on pillows or blankets if being seated is not super, super comfortable. And then we're going to grab our towel again too. So I'm going to bring one leg out to the side, kind of a little mini straddle position, and then the other one bent in front. So again, either propped up or you can be flat on the floor. And if this knee doesn't quite go all the way down, you can grab a block or a pillow or something and prop up that knee as well. I'm gonna take my towel and put it around my foot. You might need a little bit longer towel here if you need, or a little blanket. So I'm gonna face my leg first. Now I'm gonna rotate, I'm gonna lift this top arm, the one that's in front, and I'm gonna try to peek under it and kind of pull myself towards the towel, taking a breath, and then back. Now I'm gonna take the towel and I'm gonna pull myself towards my leg, taking a breath, and coming up. Again, peeking under the towel, and you kind of take this other hand and feed it around to you in front, looking up, and back center, pulling myself towards the leg, and up one more time, up and over. So you'll feel that nice stretch through the back here, hopefully, and up, and then pulling, and up. Let's go ahead and switch legs. So in one leg, this doesn't have to be too far out, just to where it's comfortable, and you kind of feel like you're on top of your sitting bones here. And again, if this knee doesn't go all the way down to the floor, you can prop up here. And then this knee too, if you're propped up, you may want something under that knee if you have some hyperextension in your knee or there's pressure there. You can go ahead and put something underneath that one too. So prop up all you need to. All right, here we go with our towel. So I'm gonna peek up underneath, breathing, and back to the center. A little pull, gentle pull for those hamstrings. A little peek under, rotation, and back a little pull, just gentle, not painful. And last time, peeking underneath, and up, and a little pull. All right, and there we go. Let's go ahead and get ourselves back to a standing position, kind of check and see how we feel. Just rolling it nice and gentle to stand. All right, when you turn the head, just kind of feel in your back. How does that feel for you? So let me know all those things you can do independently or as part of a little put together routine here anytime before, after you sit. So hopefully that leaves you feeling great and ready to work, ready to travel. And I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again next Saturday. Bye for now.